Hello everyone and welcome to Shifting Gears and welcome inside the 2025 Hyundai Creta Electric. So now in the mass market segment, especially when you consider mid-size SUVs, electric cars are surely going to gain more popularity because the Hyundai Creta, the champion of this mid-size SUV segment, has now arrived in its electric avatar. By the way, it's January 2025 and it has been raining really heavily in and around Chennai. But what a pleasant weather, and we really like it. Now, coming back to the point, this Hyundai Creta Electric, which I am driving right now, this is the most expensive trim. So with the biggest battery pack, with the longest range option that you can buy, and of course this is kitted to the max. This is the top trim of the Creta Electric. But the biggest talking point of this video is going to be the feel from behind the wheel. How good is this Hyundai Creta Electric to drive? We are going to focus on that. We also have plenty of short format video pieces which you can check out on Instagram and also on YouTube Shorts, so that if you like bite-sized content pieces, you can know everything about the Hyundai Creta Electric, because we have curated that content for you so that you can make an informed car buying decision. So now is a good time to subscribe to the Shifting Gears channel and all our platforms. Now first, let us speak about the specifications. With the Hyundai Creta Electric, you are going to get two battery pack options. With the 42 kilowatt hour battery pack, the max power output that you will get is 135 PS and the driving range is going to be 390 kilometers. Should you buy the more expensive long range 51.4 kilowatt hour battery pack option, now the Creta Electric will produce 171 PS of maximum power and you will get a driving range of 473 kilometers. Speaking about charging time, if you use an 11 kilowatt AC fast charger, 10 to 100% SOC can be achieved in 4 hours for the 42 kilowatt hour Creta Electric, and for the larger battery pack, the same 10 to 100% via a 11 kilowatt AC fast charger will take 4 hours and 50 minutes. If you use a DC fast charger, making use of a 50 kilowatt DC fast charger, 10 to 80% can be achieved in 58 minutes for both the battery pack options. So the battery pack of this Hyundai Creta Electric is below the chassis. So the chassis has obviously been reworked to accommodate that battery pack, but surprisingly the ground clearance has gone up. You now get 200 millimeters of ground clearance with this Hyundai Creta Electric. Now that has happened also because the suspension has been tweaked. It has been made a bit stiffer so that the ground clearance number is not compromised. And let me tell you, throughout my review drive experience today, I have driven it over 140 kilometers so far already, and I'm going to drive for 30-40 odd kilometers more. Let me tell you, ground clearance was never a concern. We drove it over some really big potholes, over some broken terrain, over some really large speed breakers. Not even once did the battery pack touch anywhere. So even though that battery pack is visible to your eye very easily when you look at the Creta Electric, don't be concerned, don't be too worried that it is going to compromise your ability to drive around all across India. But of course, if you are going to be going off the road, if you're going to encounter a trail, you definitely have to be a bit careful because you can damage it. But then they have taken care of it. Hyundai has done some serious amounts of testing to ensure that the battery pack doesn't get damaged very easily. So if you manage to do it, you might be doing something really fishy. So now let's start talking about the driving experience, the feel from behind the wheel of this Hyundai Creta Electric. And let me tell you, I have been mighty impressed. Now, very recently I drove the Mahindra BE6 and the XEV9e. Both of those cars were very radical to look at. A lot of features, very different, very funky, very cool. Exterior design is also polarizing. The interior cabin has just a lot to offer to differentiate itself. But then in the Indian market, there is a big market. Majority of the market, in fact, they love inoffensive designs, and that kind of design language, like the new Mahindras in its electric form, they can be a bit too much for the mass market. The Hyundai Creta is a tried and tested formula. People love it. And now inside in this Hyundai Creta Electric, everything is just as easy, convenient, spacious, and of topmost quality, which is very important. Hyundai knows how to make cars which will last and how to make cars which look good and feel good, and this Hyundai Creta Electric is no different. It feels special on the inside, even though it might not have some superlative features only to speak about, because in the real world you don't necessarily need all that jazz. So what I first want to speak about is the NVH characteristic of this vehicle. I'm going to set the cruise control at 60 kilometers per hour. At this speed right now, the vehicle is nice and quiet. We are driving on the East Coast Road in Chennai, and it's a nice surface, good road, well paved, and at 60 kilometers per hour, not too much of a noise inside the cabin. There is no EV mechanical sound that is heard inside the cabin either. You can hear that when you are at crawling speeds, when the speed has not built up and there is no ambient noise. Only then you can make out that EV sound, but otherwise at this speed, no complaints at all. This vehicle, this Creta Electric, is also riding on low rolling resistance tires. It has some aero efficient alloy wheels too, and there is not too much of tire noise that is heard inside the cabin. Now this is going to be your typical commuting speed, and at this speed this is fantastic. This feels very comfortable, and to my ears there is no stress at all, and because of this I can drive this car for really long distances without feeling fatigued. So that is very important. NVH is very crucial for long driving comfort, and I think the Creta Electric can be a good companion if you want to drive across cities, but you know that you will have to make use of fast chargers if you want to drive over 500 kilometers. So that is something that I'm sure you have decided to make peace with if at all you are considering to bring home an electric vehicle. Now check this out. Under acceleration, if I start to pick up pace, I'm now at 70 kilometers per hour. Now I am at 80 kilometers per hour. No wind blast that is heard inside the cabin, no wind noise that is creeping inside. So again, NVH is genuinely very good, and at this speed too, no tire noise that is disturbing me or troubling me inside the cabin. So I really appreciate the NVH that Hyundai has managed with this Creta Electric. So top quality, top comfort for sure. The next point which I want to speak about is this steering wheel. A very different looking steering wheel. You will notice you have 4 dots on the center of this steering wheel where the horn pad is, and those 4 dots indicate H in Morse code. Now, is that of any significance? I don't really think so, but it does look cool rather than looking at the standard Hyundai logo, the H logo. This time they have this 4 dots on the steering wheel, and it does look different. Now the steering wheel is leather wrapped, it has nice thumb contours, there is no contrast stitching, it doesn't really have a flat bottom, but you have some different lines over there. It is not a flat bottom, but it looks cool and it feels of the right size, so it doesn't feel too big for the size of the car or too small for the size of the car. It's ideal and it has been a charm to use. Let me pull over to the shoulder, and since we are talking about the steering wheel, let us check out the amount of effort that is required to move the wheel when you are at a standstill. Alright, so let us pull over, let us look that it is safe to do so. So I am going to now stop, and now at a standstill, check this out. By the way, I have engaged parking mode. Check this out. The steering wheel at standstill, it doesn't feel extremely light like some EPS units do. There is some heft, there is some weight that you feel on the wheel, especially when you are at a standstill. If I plan to start driving, check this out. If I'm crawling, and now when I'm going to make steering movements, again, there is some heft, there is some weight, and it doesn't really feel like it is, unnaturally light. So some people might like the heft, some people might just make peace with it, but it is not heavy to the point that this is going to be uncomfortable for your family members to use. So it is just that it feels a bit heavier. It is not troublesome at all. And since we are speaking about the steering wheel, let me show you that when you make sudden steering inputs, there is some nervousness. It is not really a point and shoot kind of a steering wheel feel and feedback. It does feel a bit slow, and you do feel some pitch and roll too when you do that. So more on the dynamics point later, but the steering wheel, it is acceptable for a vehicle of this size. And as you can see, if you want to make way through traffic, it shouldn't be a challenge. It gives you a good idea of what the wheels are doing, where the wheels are pointed, but it is just that it doesn't feel very dynamically rich. It is what it is. It is a mass market SUV. It is not a sports car, and I think nobody is going to drive like that unless there is some kind of an emergency. But now what I want to demonstrate about the steering wheel is the ease when you want to make U-turns. So check this out. Slowing down, looking around for safety, and as you could notice, single-handed operation to make this U-turn, good center pullback, and as soon as we pick up pace and when we want to change directions, no complaints, no problems. And if I want to make overtaking maneuvers, the steering wheel, it's good enough. It is just that it is not exciting. Now the next point which I want to speak about is the performance. But before we deep dive into the acceleration and all of that, let me tell you that this console over here, this houses your drive mode selector. So you have sport, normal and eco, 3 drive modes. As you can notice on the speedometer cluster, you have different color themes for different modes, and you only have a drive mode selector. If you press it like you can on the standard Creta, there is no traction control mode that is available to you. So just drive mode, only your throttle maps, they are going to be modulated. And if you are driving steady throttle, part throttle, and if you switch between these drive modes, you will instantly make out the difference in acceleration. So if you progressively go from eco, normal to sport, and your right foot is steady on the throttle, you will notice the increase in speed that the Creta Electric is now picking up pace. So that is something that I am telling you. There is an electric park brake over here. There is an auto hold button over here for convenience, especially in bumper to bumper traffic. And you also have this camera button over here for your, rearward camera to be activated when you are driving forward. So this also is liked by a few customers. But as you can notice, there are a lot of water droplets right now. So this is what you can expect in the real world. There is a lot of water on it because it was raining heavily, and you're going to have to get down and clean it. Now let's start talking about the performance. I have spent over 4.5 hours behind the wheel of this Hyundai Creta Electric. What I really want to highlight is that the performance is fantastic. Now, even when you are in eco mode, the acceleration is really rapid and you do feel like you are driving a fast car. It doesn't feel slow and lethargic even in eco mode. The only thing is that in eco mode you have to kick the pedal a bit much so that the vehicle senses that you need that kind of an acceleration. But overall the performance has been more than acceptable, and I don't think I drove it with my right foot flat on the floor for really long because I had to slow down, because the vehicle is quite capable and doing triple digit speeds is no problem, no concern at all for this Hyundai Creta Electric. These drive modes, you can switch them on the go, on the fly, even when you have your right foot pressed. So it is not like you have to get off the gas to make these drive mode changes. So check this out, like I am doing right now. I'm now in eco mode, I'm switching to normal, I got some burst of power, my right foot is steady, part throttle, and now switching to sport, again a rapid surge, and it is picking up pace. So I really like it, how convenient and how effortless the vehicle feels. What is really important is that Hyundai has not tried hard to make their Creta Electric stand out and look like an alien or look like a car from the future. Everything starting from ergonomics right at the sweet spot. So there is no major learning curve if at all you plan to buy this Hyundai Creta Electric. Go to the showroom, buy it outright in cash if you feel like, and as soon as you hop inside, you are instantly at home because it just feels so natural. So now what we are going to do is check out the performance. Let us see how this Hyundai Creta Electric accelerates from a standstill in eco mode. So let me switch to eco. I'm going to deactivate auto hold functionality, and what we will do now is sprint hard, full pedal to the metal from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour. I'm not going to make use of any regen settings. I'm going to leave regen level also at 0. Okay, so all that we are going to do now is kick that pedal to the metal. So in 3, 2, 1, full pedal to the metal, and just look at that acceleration, look at that needle climb, and we are already at 100 kilometers per hour and we kept picking up pace. Now since regen level is at 0, it will continue to roll, free roll for a longer time because it is not going to slow down. But now what I'll do is, check this out, I'm going to increase regen level to maximum, which will now activate I-pedal drive. So I am coming to a standstill now without actually tapping the brake. Check this out, my right foot is steady. I did not tap the brake and the vehicle has now stopped. Let me demonstrate that one more time. So in 3, 2, 1, full pedal to the metal. Acceleration is strong. You could hear some wheel spin. And now check this out. Released the throttle pedal only. And now I can completely bring the vehicle to a halt. And this I-pedal drive is going to be very convenient, especially if you are driving around in congested cities like Mumbai. Now what I'll do is I will switch the drive mode to sport. By the way, what you should notice is that it is an I-pedal mode. It is in I-pedal mode. Auto hold functionality is not active. The vehicle is not moving at all. It is not rolling back. There is some kind of a gradient over here and I have not touched the brake. So I-pedal drive can also work as auto hold, I guess. I think you should also try it in the real world and let us know in the comments below if it works or not. So now that we are in sport mode, in 3, 2, 1, full pedal to the metal. Some wheel spin, but not too bad. Good grip, good traction, and we are already over 100 kilometers per hour and it continues to pick up pace. But now, as soon as I have released the throttle pedal, check this out. Right foot is up, not on any pedal. Check this out. Pulling over to the shoulder. I-pedal drive is active and the vehicle is coming to a standstill. It has completely stopped. I have not tapped the brakes, and now I'm again going to press the accelerator. So in 3, 2, 1, let's check it out. Some wheel spin because there was some sand under the left tire, but as soon as it got rolling, it has picked up pace really quickly, and I really like it. The convenience is fantastic and the vehicle is very easy to understand. But what you should keep in mind is that in I-pedal mode, which is maximum regen, the deceleration is really fast. So you have to make sure that you get off the gas, keeping in mind the vehicles behind you too, at what speed they are also approaching, because you need to ensure road safety as well. If you ask me, I was driving it out on the highway on regen level 3, and when I was inside the city, I was driving it at maximum regen, which is at level 4. It doesn't show as level 4, it says max regen, and it shows you a telltale sign that I-pedal mode is active. So you have a total of 5 regen levels: 0, 1, 2, 3 and max, which is I-pedal mode. I-pedal is single pedal mode and it works flawlessly. Not even once did it fail, even when I was on a gradient, on an incline or on a decline. So I really like it. Now, elaborating a bit more about the performance, check this out. I'm going to switch back to eco mode. Alright, now I am at a little over 60 kilometers per hour. I'm driving steady throttle. I'm going to let the speed drop to 60. So now that I'm at 60, check this out. Very effortless, very convenient. But if I kick the throttle pedal, it starts building pace very quickly and I am already at 120 kilometers per hour in no time. So don't think that in eco mode the throttle response is going to be extremely dull down. It will be more than sufficient for fast-paced overtaking maneuvers. Let me show that to you one more time. So now I have let the speed drop to 50 kilometers per hour and full pedal to the metal, and in no time I have now touched 100 kilometers per hour and more. You have to be very careful driving around Chennai because people just cut through really randomly. But nevertheless, acceleration very good, very strong and good grip. It is just that if the road surface is a bit wet, if there is some sand or gravel, if you are hard on the throttle, you might feel like the vehicle is missing some traction. But as soon as the traction control starts to get grip and as soon as it hooks it up, then it will be very rapid. The next point to speak about is the ride quality. Hyundai has stiffened the suspension. Now that was done primarily because of the weight of this vehicle and also because of the battery pack which is hanging below the chassis, which is very visible too. Now the suspension has been made stiff, but it has not come at the compromise of a comfortable ride quality. This Creta Electric is as comfortable as a family car should be. I have now driven it for over 160 kilometers and I did not find it to be bone jarring or stiff ever. Over broken roads, over speed breakers, now on the highway too, it is a very mature car in its handling and it is a very safe and predictable car in its handling. This is what is important. The Hyundai Creta Electric, to those who compare it with the Mahindra BE6, they might say that the Creta Electric is very vanilla, it is very boring. But let me tell you, vanilla works with everything. It can be combined with everything. That is why it is so good and that is why so many people love it. And this inoffensive Hyundai Creta Electric might actually be the right car if they are planning to bring home an electric SUV. The ride quality is very comfortable for you when you want to drive it hard and fast. It is very compliant on the highway. There is no too much of vertical movement, no waftiness, and because of that you can stay at 80 to 100 or maybe 120 kilometers per hour effortlessly. It doesn't feel too bouncy and it will keep you comfortable at all times. So all of you inside the Creta Electric, all the passengers and you the driver, you will have no complaints in terms of doing long distance journeys. Then when you drive it over speed breakers too, like I mentioned, the battery pack, it doesn't hit anywhere, so the ground clearance number is also generous and it is reasonably practical too. So in terms of dynamic ability, as a family car, this Creta Electric, it does tick all the boxes. One more time, check this out. Going to make a fast-paced U-turn maneuver, and as soon as we get on the gas, if I make some lane changes, trying to mimic some emergency moves, I am under acceleration, by the way. The right quality, the balance is good for me to keep the vehicle in my control. Speed is over 120 kilometers per hour, but still not a problem. It is just that it doesn't feel like it is on rails. You will feel some pitch and roll. You will feel some amount of body roll. But then you've bought an SUV, not a sports car. What are you expecting? It is still well within limits and well within your control. And none of your passengers would feel like throwing up. Body roll is not to the point that it is going to make your stomach and internals upset. Now the next point, which is brakes. This Hyundai Creta Electric has enough stopping power. I am right now at regen level 0, coasting very nicely. But if I want to slow the vehicle down, as soon as I tap the brakes, a nice and progressive bite. It is not scary, it is not too sharp, it is not over servoed. Check this out, we are going to reach an intersection, tapping the brakes, slowing the vehicle down, no challenge at all, and we are going comfortably. So the brakes too, very nice and predictable. It doesn't really dive too much in the front too, but you will notice the bite when you tap the brake. And when you go to maximum regen, like I have done now, which is I-pedal drive, now when I release the throttle, even now you do feel like the vehicle is slowing down, so you do move forward a bit. So good brakes, good slowing down ability. So yes, it can accelerate really fast, but it can slow down very effectively too. Then speaking about the tires, low rolling resistance tires. Like I said, for NVH they are doing a fantastic job in terms of grip. It was raining really heavily today in and around Chennai, and over completely wet surface at 80 to 100 kilometers per hour, no worry, no tension about the grip. It is just that under hard acceleration you can hear some amount of slip. That is it. These are not performance tires. These are tires for electric vehicles for optimum efficiency and range. So there is some compromise. Live with it and save the planet. Now speaking about the smaller and significant stuff with this Hyundai Creta Electric, you can have the air conditioning on for the driver's side only. So only these two vents blowing cool air on me. I have ventilated seats too, so I can be comfortable very effectively. I don't need to have the air conditioning on for the entire vehicle. Now that is going to save some amount of range, so that is important. That is a critical feature. Check this out right now over here on this infotainment screen. It is showing that I have 211 kilometers of range left with the air conditioning on, and with the air conditioning off it is 227 kilometers. So more range if you switch off the air conditioning. But do you want to sweat and then reach somewhere further? I wouldn't like it. Nevertheless, it is what it is. And also, when you change regen settings, the range does not change. The range does not go up and down. The range changes only when you switch between driving modes, and that is dynamically shown to you over here on this infotainment screen and also on the instrument cluster. So the range is also quite good in my opinion. What I have managed, what I have averaged in terms of consumption, in terms of efficiency, is 7.8 kilometers for every kilowatt hour of battery capacity used. Now you know the battery capacity. You can do the math. That is going to be your range. Speaking about what I have done today, I have driven the car for 170 kilometers as of now. I have 211 kilometers of range left with the air conditioning on and 227 kilometers of range with the air conditioning off. So you can do the math, add it up, and this kind of range I think is good enough for the urban jungle for sure. So maybe you can charge your Creta Electric once a week or maybe just twice a week, and that is as convenient as it gets. If you want to fast charge it, that's even quicker, and you can do that if you are going to go out for a long road trip too. So charging is not going to be too much of a concern because the range is genuinely good, and this range that I have managed does include 1 hour of the vehicle being active at one point. So it was running, the air conditioning was on, and it was just at one place when I was shooting reels for this vehicle. So this kind of range I think is pretty commendable and surely acceptable. Now yes, this is a modern day Hyundai, this is a modern vehicle, so it does get level 2 ADAS features, some of which you might not even use in your real world driving use case, but you do get all of that. And the regen is also going to be linked with ADAS, so that is something pretty impressive. I did not get chance to try that out, or I did not really focus on that because I focused on driving and I enjoyed my drive. So that is it guys, that is all that I want to share with you about this Hyundai Creta Electric. It has been an impressive first drive review and I think it makes a lot of sense. If you have any other questions, ask me in the comments below and I will try my best to help you out. Till next time, subscribe to the Shifting Gears channel, press that bell icon, always drive safe and always wear your seat belts.